Top story, the impact of that gun reform law and what it will be like here in Kentucky. Included in that more than $13 billion package, enhanced background checks for gun buyers under 21 years old. It prevents partners convicted of domestic abuse from purchasing guns. It gives incentives for states to pass red flag laws and provide funds for school security and mental health services. Connor Steffen reports on the impacts back here at home.
Touted by many as landmark legislation containing sweeping gun reform measures, President Biden signed the first bipartisan gun control bill in decades into law Saturday.
I think that it's easy to both make too much of the legislation and dismiss it too easily.
Coming out of a U.S. Congress usually in gridlock, it's a bipartisan compromise many thought unimaginable.
They were able to get a bipartisan gun bill, one of the most controversial areas in our politics, through Congress.
Gun reform activists argue the legislation doesn't go far enough.
I think it is meaningful, even if it doesn't go as far as some of its advocates wanted.
U of L law professor Sam Markison applauds some key provisions within the new law, like its enforcement of enhanced background checks for gun buyers under 21. The law also gets rid of something called the boyfriend loophole, keeping guns away from people convicted of domestic abuse.
So, given that we understand that not every domestic relationship involves people who are married to one another, protecting those people who are in those situations, those kinds of relationships, makes all the sense in the world.
But most of all, Markison sees its most critical piece as measures to put in place red flag laws, which make it easier for authorities to take weapons from people seen to be dangerous. It also includes incentives for U.S. states to develop their own red flag laws. Currently, 17 and Washington, D.C. have some sort of red flag law, including Indiana. Markison sees that measure as something that could also benefit the Commonwealth. Markison also acknowledges the absence of some of those bigger actions gun reform activists were hoping would be in the law, but he says it's a step in the right direction. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11 on your side.